Hey everybody, welcome back to the Movie Pod. My name is Isaac, I'm the host here, and I am joined by my co-host, Joseph, and we have quite an exciting episode today. I'm actually looking forward to doing this one. I'll be playing around with ChatGPT, the AI program, and asking it to rewrite the Star Wars sequel trilogy based off the treatments George Lucas made. So hopefully it will, create kind of what we were going to get with George Lucas's Star Wars trilogy. Obviously, his sequel trilogy treatments have got out in the recent years, and they were quite epic. Definitely a lot better than what Disney produced us. Now this episode of the Movie Pod is inspired by a video CT5597 made on YouTube, and his video was called "I asked ChatGPT to write me a new Star Wars sequel trilogy," and his channel is CT5597. I'll link him down below, but yeah, I am taking inspiration off his video idea. So thank you so much, CT5597. Guys, go check him out. He's definitely very underrated. He's nearly at 100 subscribers now, and go check him out. He is very underrated, and he produces very good quality content. So thank you for inspiring me to create this video today, CT5597. And let's get to it. So basically, I've got ChatGPT up, and I've put my prompt in to say, write a Star Wars sequel trilogy that shows Princess Leia rebuilding the Republic, while Luke Skywalker begins to build the Jedi Order. The main villains will be Darth Maul and his apprentice Darth Talon. This trilogy is set only a few years after Return of the Jedi. I also want it to feature Anakin Skywalker in a major way speaking with Luke. So I'm going to press enter on that, and let's see what it writes me. Now that is overall what I've just wrote into the AI system is basically a sum up of George Lucas' sequel trilogy. He was going to have Princess Leia rebuilding the Republic while Luke begins to rebuild the Jedi Order. He was going to bring Darth Maul back with an apprentice called Darth Talon, and Anakin Skywalker would have featured as a Force ghost in a way. So yeah, that's basically a little sum up of how George Lucas' sequel treatment was going to go. And so I've put that into ChatGPT AI, and let's press enter, see what it produces.
Sweet. Interesting.
Okay, title. So episode 7 is called Rise of the Republic. Now I'll read out what it said for episode 7. Episode 7, Rise of the Republic. Several years after the defeat of the Galactic Empire, the galaxy is still in turmoil, struggling to rebuild and find its footing. Princess Leia Organa, now a respected and determined leader, works tirelessly to restore the Republic from the ruins of the Empire. Luke Skywalker, a seasoned Jedi Master, has started a modest Jedi Academy to train a new generation of Force-sensitive individuals. Meanwhile, lurking in the shadows, the remnants of the Sith have found new leadership under the cunning Darth Maul and his deadly apprentice Darth Talon. Together they plot to seize power and bring chaos to the galaxy once again. As Leia travels to different systems, she faces political intrigue, corruption, and attempts on her life. With the help of loyal allies like Chewbacca, Admiral Akbar, C-3PO, and others, Leia strives to unite the fractured planets and create a new era of peace. Yet she can't shake the feeling that the dark side is growing stronger. Cool. So they're kind of showing us there that Leia is Force sensitive. You can feel the dark side coming on. At the Jedi Academy, Luke grapples with the burden of restoring the Jedi Order. He often finds solace in conversations with the Force ghost of his father, Anakin Skywalker. Anakin, having redeemed himself in the end, becomes a spiritual guide to Luke, offering advice and wisdom to his son. Okay, so that's the overview they gave us for episode 7. Now, putting my own input. Now, this seems very cool. It does seem like what we would have wanted. It seems like this would be more of a slower story and a start to the trilogy, and it seems like it's more focused on Leia and her being Force sensitive. Now, that was one thing George Lucas was going to include in the sequels as well, was Leia being heavily Force sensitive. Obviously, she is Skywalker, and the sequels were going to show us her using the Force. And so, as it said here, she can't help but shake the feeling that the dark side is growing stronger. And so yeah, this one would be kind of like just how the galaxy now is without full leadership in power, and with the Empire dead. And so I think it would be kind of like the Empire's in scraps. So that's episode 7, Rise of the Republic. We'll get to episode 8, then on to episode 9, and we'll talk about it. So episode 8. Episode 8, Shadows of the Sith. I feel like this one's gonna really be deep. More of Darth Maul and Darth Talon's power up, and this is the Sith growing back up. So episode 8, Shadows of the Sith. Darth Maul and Darth Talon's influence spread like a plague, turning disgruntled individuals and power-hungry warlords to their cause. The Sith cult grows, and they continue to manipulate events from the shadows, striking fear into the hearts of both the Republic and the Jedi Order. Leia faces an internal conflict when she discovers that there are individuals within her ranks who secretly serve the Sith. This revelation shakes her trust in some of her closest adversaries. She must navigate this landscape while trying to forge new alliances to strengthen the Republic. Luke's Jedi Order faces its darkest hour as a devastating attack on his academy takes place. The Sith, fueled by their thirst for vengeance against the Jedi, are determined to eliminate the new generation of Force users. This tragic event forces Luke to confront the weight of his responsibilities as a teacher and leader, testing his resolve and belief in the Jedi way. Wow, so Luke's getting a bit angry there. He's testing his resolve and his belief in the Jedi way, which George Lucas in his sequel trilogy was going to have Luke's Jedi Order to be a lot more relaxed. You would be allowed to have attachments. You'd be allowed to have marriage and stuff. Yeah. Because like the original Jedi Order, the one that fell, prequel era, that this main problem with that strict. One is because of how strict it was and how many rules it had in place. So that's episode 8.
Well, Kyoto had like 9 wives.
Yeah, because of it. Apparently he was allowed because his species was going extinct. Yeah. Okay, episode 9, Balance of the Force. In the final installment, the conflict escalates to an all-out war between the Republic and the Sith. Leia's efforts to rebuild the Republic and unite the galaxy are put to the ultimate test. She must rally the remaining loyal systems and muster the strength to confront the relentless Darth Maul and Darth Talon, who are now close to achieving their goal of galactic domination. Luke, with the support of his Jedi Order, engages in a climactic showdown with the Sith, hoping to bring an end to their tyranny. Throughout the battle, he draws on the advice of his father, Anakin, in his struggle to resist the darkness and save those he cares about. Anakin's guidance plays a significant role in shaping Luke's path ahead, and their emotional interactions serve as a powerful reminder of the internal battle between the light and the dark within the Force. Ultimately, it is through Luke's compassion and understanding that he finds a way to redeem Darth Talon, making her renounce the Sith ways. The final conflict between Leia and Darth... Yeah, Darth Talon is a her. The final conflict between Leia and Darth Maul, she is baddie, bro, she a baddie. I'm just going to point that out there. She's in the comics, she's a baddie. The final conflict between Leia and Darth Maul is equally intense. Wow, okay. So Luke took on Talon, Leia's taken on Maul. Interesting. With Leia tapping into her inner strength and utilizing her diplomatic skills to turn former enemies into allies. In the end, she finds a way to undermine Darth Maul's plans and his ambitions for good. The trilogy concludes with a sense of hope and a new beginning as the galaxy slowly heals from the scars of war. Leia's efforts lead to the establishment of a stronger and more unified republic, while Luke's determination allows the Jedi Order to rise once again. Both siblings find solace in knowing that their father's spirit played a vital role in bringing balance to the Force and securing a brighter future for all. Okay. Obviously, these would need a lot more would need a lot of work to work as movies and be successful. They would need a lot of work. Yeah. But these are very cool ideas. These are not proper scripts. These are very cool ideas. What I'm going to do now is put into the prompt and ask it to expand on these stories. Also, there was no Han Solo mention or R2-D2 mention, so let's get a mention from those. We got Chewbacca mention in there. So, this is what I've put into the prompt. Expand on these stories. Include Han Solo, R2-D2, and C-3PO. Okay, episode 7. Now, I rewrote it, so let's see what it does. In Rise of the Republic, we find Han Solo still... Okay, it's read a whole nother thing.
Okay.
It's basically just included.
That's fine.
It's included Han alongside Leia, and with R2D2 and C3PO continue to be loyal companions. They've always been. R2 with his astromech skills assists Leia's missions by decoding encrypted messages. Good old R2. C3PO fluent in numerous languages, acts as Leia's protocol droid. Yep, we know that. So yeah, he just puts them in there a bit. Or the AI puts them in. So, obviously these would need a lot of work. I think they're already better than what we got in the sequel trilogy. With the episode 9 they did, Balance of the Force. Now, I think, obviously Anakin did guide Luke and Leia to defeat the Sith. They brought Talon back to the light, and Leia ultimately destroyed Darth Maul. Now, George Lucas was going to make Leia like the second chosen one in his sequel trilogy, which is very interesting. I don't know how I truly feel about that, because Anakin Skywalker is the only true chosen one.
Yeah.
So I think, Anakin would need to kind of have a bigger power to defeat the Sith again. But then again, he can't do that for every generation. So I think these would need a lot more work, but they are pretty goddamn cool for an AI who just wrote them off 3 sentences I gave it. It's crazy that this exists, and then you have these writers that are worth multi-millions of dollars, that got paid multi-millions of dollars and made that lot of what we got, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker.
This is the reason why there is a writer's strike on there.
Genuinely, I just feel like, where is the creativity, where is the sense in the writers nowadays, when an AI, who isn't a living thing, it's a freaking AI, I gave it 3 sentences to write a Star Wars sequel trilogy, and it writes something like that. Obviously, it needs a lot more work. It needs to be fleshed out more. It needs a center ground story. But what it just gave us there is a very good rough idea they could start on. And I think AI will be utilized in the future, whether people like it or not. It will be utilized to create stories, and it's not so much a bad thing, as long as it doesn't take over the full creativity storytelling side. Get it to produce someone an idea, then they expand on that idea. They continue writing that idea. I will admit right now, I would use ChatGPT and AI to start a story, and then I add my own elements into it just to give me an idea, especially for people.
Maybe not to start a story, but just to give inspiration.
Yeah, give inspiration. That's the way to put it. And even say you're stuck in the story, maybe ask it to give you a few outcomes, and then you like a part of that outcome it gave you, and then you like a part of this other outcome it gave you. Put it together, you put your own elements in it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it could be a very useful tool, and I feel like if people use it more as a tool instead of a
replacement,
then I think it's okay. But yeah, that's ChatGPT's sequel trilogy. It's
something I want to touch on.
Yeah.
It kind of made me think of something. So you complain a lot. I agree, but you talk about a lot how the sequel trilogy didn't have like Force Ghost Anakin or anything.
Yeah.
I kind of thought about it because it said in that like Anakin spoke to Luke and helped him resist the dark side. I wish we saw that in the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Like specifically Anakin talking to Luke.
When he went into exile.
And that was the reason that he came. Like that was the reason that he came to whatever that planet was. Was it? It started with a C.
The island he was stranded on.
No. So at the end of Last Jedi.
Crate.
Yeah, Crate. Yeah. I would have liked to see.
Yeah, me too.
Luke, because Luke didn't want to help and then we see him. And
well, obviously,
if
we got Yoda Force Ghost.
A 2-minute segment. Yeah, but I would have rather Anakin.
Me too. It would have meant so much more. Father and son. It would have meant so much more.
Yeah, and he was also, and it was Yoda was more like a guide, and like a trainer, whereas I feel like Yoda was a mentor, but I feel like Anakin, having fought the dark side, and
experiencing that, and then coming
back. Yeah, and that's the reason that Luke didn't want to, is because of his impact with the dark side, him almost killing his nephew, shit like that. I think Anakin talking to him would have been a lot better.
Definitely, that's a very good way.
But not as melodramatic. Just I would have liked, him meditating.
Yeah,
and then simply like Luke meditating, and then just
Well,
what's up, bro? How you going? What the fuck are you doing?
In the novelization of The Last Jedi, when Luke is sitting on his rock, meditating there at the end of The Last Jedi, he's trying to hold on to life. In the novelization, Anakin Skywalker says to Luke, just a forced voice, and says to him, "Let go, Luke." And then Luke fades away, fades off the rock. It transcends into the Force. If they just did that in the movie, they could have done that so simply. You have Hayden record a line, Anakin record a line saying, "Luke, let go," and then Luke let go. Because he's sitting on a rock, he's sitting there, he's all puffed and tired, and then he just dies. I don't like it. I think if they added Anakin's voice there, telling him to let go,
I don't think Anakin would have let him. Would have wanted him to give up.
Well, in the story, the sequels went with, with what we got. You got to that's what they should have done.
Yeah.
They wanted to go with the way they went.
It was still
killing Luke off.
Yeah.
That's what we got, and I think it would have been a better death if Anakin said this, "Let go, Luke," like he does in the novelization. I really actually like that because But anyway, that's the sequel trilogy AI ChatGPT wrote. It is very interesting that, come up with stuff like that is better than frickin' a multi-millionaire frickin' company, one of the biggest entertainment companies. It's just weird, man. Like how, and that's why I think it could be a very useful tool, especially for big franchises like Star Wars and stuff like that. That don't have its original creator with it anymore, but to stay true to it, use AI, sure, but don't let AI replace it all. Use it as a tool. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, thanks guys for listening. This was interesting. Let us know what you would have liked to see in the Star Wars sequel trilogy, or do you think they were perfect? If you do, you're not a real Star, so you don't understand Star Wars. What? Genuinely though, I will say this proudly: if you think the sequels are good Star Wars movies, I personally, in my opinion, don't think you understand Star Wars. I genuinely don't.
Star Wars movies, not movies. Star Wars movies.
No, just Star Wars.
They can be
in general. I genuinely don't think if you think the sequels are good, you don't understand Star Wars. Because
that's what I mean. They're bad Star Wars movies. You can argue that they're good movies. They're bad Star Wars movies.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, I don't think if people like them, I don't think they understand Star Wars. Because of how much it breaks canon within the Clone Wars and just retcon so much stuff, and then just ultimately, where's Anakin? What's he doing in the Force world? What is he doing? And this is Rey Skywalker, Goofy R. Anyway, guys, let us know what you thought of this and what you would have liked to see in the sequels. Or do you think they were perfect? And anyway, see you guys. We're out. Bye.
Bye.